Hello everyone, it's Laura Husband here from Hairdressers Journal International, and we are here for a session on growing client frequency with cutting and styling skills. And today's session is supported by Wella Professionals, and I'm thrilled to be joined by Kai Wan, who is the co-owner and director of Kai Hair, and he's also a renowned stylist and photographer, and he's going to be sharing his expertise on learning the fundamentals behind cutting hair, how to grow your skills, where to start with more creative education, and how to grow your cutting client frequency and loyalty. So there's a hell of a lot to cram into today's session. You'll also see in the comments, whether you're tuning in on Zoom or on Facebook, that Kai also teaches a range of fantastic cutting and styling courses at the Wella Studios in London, Manchester and Edinburgh. So for details of dates and prices, please email wellaevents@wella.com, or you can call your nearest studio. So hello there, Kai.
Hello. Hi, Laura. Hi, everyone.
Great to have you with us, and I'm sure you'll be more than happy to answer questions as they come in as well, won't you, Kai?
Yes, definitely.
Oh,
delighted to be here. Thank you.
Oh, we're thrilled to have you with us. And we do have a lot to cram into today's session. So I guess maybe if we just get straight into it, maybe you can just tell us a little bit about your thoughts on the importance of learning the fundamentals for cutting hair and why it's so important, especially right now for those that are tuning in and preparing to go back to work soon.
Well, the fundamentals of hair cutting, I mean, they're the fundamentals, you know what I mean? So we're talking about kind of looking at face shapes, looking at the shapes that combine all aspects of design, you know, the circle, square, triangle, and then looking at the essential kind of cutting a line, graduation, layering, and then how you can like perform all those tasks and combine them together to create any shape within hair that you desire or your client desires. So really, really key. So keeping up to scratch on fundamentals and just getting them really crystal in your mind of what you're doing.
Definitely. And what are your thoughts on the best ways to learn the fundamentals of cutting hair, would you say?
The best ways to learn the fundamentals are, I think, hands-on training. Like, you know, I teach classic cutting at the Wella Studios. That's an excellent way. So hands-on education like that, I think, is the best way. I know some people do a lot of online learning and that sort of thing, but I think if you want a truly immersive experience and get the most out of it, it's hands-on education for me. Hands-on, hands down. Do you know what I mean? It's you can ask so many questions, and you can, you know, you get the 3D view of what you're doing. And it's, for me, that's the way to go. It's the best way to learn.
Amazing.
And obviously, you know, there's academies and colleges up and down the country as well.
Brilliant. Well, you've given us a sneaky peek there on the fact that you teach at the Wella Studio. So for those tuning in, would you like to tell us a little bit about the specific courses that you teach?
Well, I teach classic cutting, which is a 2-day course. So we really get to know each other, myself and the students on the course. After day one of all the nerves and everything of that, day two seems a little bit more relaxed, although, you know, we are sort of exploring, you know, developing those fundamentals into more creative ideas, which is great because, you know, like I said, it's combining those fundamental techniques to then put them in different combinations to create all the different looks that you can within hair. So that's good. I also teach Insta Waves and Braids is the name of the course.
Ah, brilliant.
And on that, we explore all the different ways of putting texture within hair, waves and curls. I've got some cool little blow dry techniques, and then using hot tools and things like that, and how to dress them out. And as well as that, because I've got a little bit of a photography background, I'll show you how
just a little bit. That's an understatement.
So I'll show you how to get the best kind of Insta-ready looks on your phone using like a light or something like that, and how we can make the texture within the hair look better for your Instagram photos. I also teach red carpet hair. And we do explore like the looks, the red carpet looks that maybe have come out on the red carpet season. But also, you know, not all of us are going to be fortunate enough to do, you know, J-Lo's hair for the red carpet. But we look at our clients red carpet and what that would be. So whether that's, you know, walking down the aisle or going to a prom or that big night out, the first date, that sort of thing. So their own red carpet and how we can, you know, put those kind of looks for our clients. So everything I do is geared towards, you know, the salon life and how we're going to explore all these techniques so that you as a stylist on the shop floor or wherever you work can apply these techniques to help you earn money as well, you know, but make your clients happy and, you know, keep coming back.
Definitely. So for anyone tuning in, as you probably already realised, Kai is extremely diverse. So if you have any particular cutting questions, styling questions, or photography questions, do fire them away, and hopefully Kai will be able to help. I mean, you are extremely diverse, Kai. So do you have a favourite course to teach or thing to do? Like, is photography your favourite, or styling, or cutting? Like, what do you enjoy doing most, I guess?
Oh. Do you know what? You could ask me that question on any given day and it'd probably be a different answer every day, because I just love everything I do. And I like the fact that I'm an all-round hairdresser. So I do all my own color work, cutting, styling, updos. And as well as that, I do all the photography side of things of what I do. And I've been fortunate enough to work at London Fashion Week. I've done front covers for magazines and, you know, all these different things. And so I love them all. I don't know if there's a favorite, but my favorite courses to teach are the ones where I get interaction person to person. Don't get me wrong, I love online teaching and that sort of thing as well, where anyone can, you know, but I just hands-on. You know, we've got scissors, combs, brushes in our hands, and we're interacting with each other, and we're working on a model or a head block, whatever it is. I love teaching people to people.
Brilliant. Well, and it won't be long until you will be in the Wella Studios doing some hands-on teaching, will it, Kai? Which is pretty exciting.
Hopefully not. I didn't get any last year, but hopefully we at the studios we're going to be open again for taking courses early May. So
Very
I think my
exciting.
first classic cutting course is the 19th, 20th of May in London.
Oh, brilliant. So yeah, so if you're interested in that, I think it's £350 total for both days, which is fantastic. And it's May the 19th and the 20th, and that's at the London Wella Studios. We have had a question, Kai, saying, do you work in all the different Wella Studios?
Yes, I've got dates booked up for the next year. So I do London, Manchester, and they've got a pop-up studio up in Edinburgh as well. So even Scotland's covered. Hello, Scotland. I've got to say that as well. My wife's Scottish. She's from
Oh,
Edinburgh.
there you go. Exactly. Yeah. Sharing some love with Scotland and with Wales, who are already busy working in
They're busy working and being half Welsh. Big up the rugby, but
yeah.
Yeah, well done, Wales, for getting back. Hope you're all getting on well. Yeah.
I doubt we'll have anyone tuning in at this time. They're probably too busy working behind the chair. But if you are joining us from Wales, it's great to have you with us, and we hope that you're doing really well. Oh, and we've had another question about your photography, Kai. Are you a self-taught photographer? Or did you do your own? Like, did you take photography courses to get you to where you are today?
I would say primarily I'm self-taught. I can't tell you the endless amounts of photography books, photography magazines, and then when it came to it, online stuff that I've just kind of looked at and you know, I've taught myself everything. I did put myself on a college course once, but it was kind of, I didn't get it. It was like it was very basic. I thought, you know what, I'm doing my own thing and, you know, developing my own style. Yeah, so it was all self-taught really.
If you look behind Kai, you can see beautiful family photos, which are obviously all taken by Kai. It was the first thing I spotted when we had a little chat this morning. Just absolutely stunning photography.
And I'm in none of them.
Of course, yeah. The one behind the lens. Oh, brilliant. So for anyone who's tuning in, who's a hairdresser, but maybe interested in cutting, styling, or indeed photography, what advice would you give for growing the different skill sets? Are there any particular courses that you would personally recommend?
In terms of what, say that again. So
Well, all your different skill sets, I guess. So for cutting, styling, and indeed maybe photography as well. Is there any particular courses that you'd recommend for growing the skill sets within those areas?
well, obviously, you know, the classic cutting course that I teach with Wella. I'm not the only educator that teaches classic cutting. There are other ones as well, and I know some students that have actually done perhaps classic cutting with myself, and then gone and done classic cutting with someone else and learnt a whole new sort of portfolio of skills as well. So classic cutting is really, really, really good. I think if you're new to cutting, brand new to cutting, then starting out, perhaps doing the essential cutting skills, and that covers everything from like how to hold a pair of scissors and what is sectioning hair. Classic cutting then goes into kind of the fundamentals of the shapes and all that sort of thing, angles at which we take, sectioning patterns and that sort of thing to create the looks and the, you know, the shapes that you want to create. And then we give you, you know, some styles which you can take back and use within the salon. They're very commercial, and then developing on from that at the Wella Studios, they do more creative cutting as well, and perhaps with art teams like, you know, Harb Academy and that sort of thing. So there's every step of the way developing your skills within the studios, which I think is fantastic. And if you look in the Wella studio like handbook, the course book, there is a really solid pyramid of where you can, like, the essential stuff, like the first stuff that you're going to learn within hairdressing, and then going right up to, like, you know, with cutting, you've got like the art teams and that you can go towards, and then with coloring, you've got right up to the master color expert courses and things like that. So it's really, really structured way in which you can, like, define your career within the program, really, which is great.
That's incredible, Kai. And I mean, myself included, obviously, everyone's itching to get back to the salon to have a good haircut and to get their colour done again. But what are your tips for increasing client frequency in terms of coming in for cuts and also boosting that loyalty for salons that maybe don't get the strength from their cutting clients?
Yeah, do you know, I thought about this, and I thought a lot of this is trend led as well, and it's no big news. It's been going on for a couple of years now. A lot of it's trend led as well. So, you know, after we came back from the first lockdown, I think people had that initial sort of 6 weeks of just absolute madness. And then I heard so many salons go through this big lull. And I think part of that was, yeah, we've crammed everyone in. All our clients got in this short space, but then, you know, there was this extra time where they till they got back in again. But also with the trend, a lot of people were coming in and having their balayages done, and you've got lovely balayage there, and having, you know, that sort of thing, and then just having a trim on their hair.
Yeah.
You're not going to see those clients again for perhaps 3 months. So your 6 weeks has gone out the window. So I think, you know, if we're going to kind of, if that trend's going to continue, we need to think about, you know, like putting little money pieces in right up to the roots, those few little baby lights that are going to grow out. The client's going to have to come back for more of that maintenance done more regularly. And then I think it's up to us to make our job more exciting, make it more exciting for us and more exciting for the client. Talking about ways in which we can, I mean, Billie Eilish has just had an amazing new haircut, and she's still got long hair, but it's got this really cool layering to it. Now that's going to need maintenance. You know, you get you know, six weeks, 2 months worth of growth on that, and those layers are just going to hang flat again. They're not going to flick out and do all that lovely, you know, thing that give it that lovely texture. And I think it's up to us to kind of use our techniques, use our skills to make it more exciting for the client and ourselves, and you'll get more frequency from that. Obviously, I predicted in a local magazine that after the last lockdown, I thought everyone would come in, they'd have all their hair chopped off. I predicted that we'd see more of these kind of little French bobs and that sort of thing. And a couple of people came in and had that. A lot of people came in and said, oh, I really like the way it's grown out. I'll just have a trim. I'll just have the end. You know what I mean? But I would urge everyone to spend these next few weeks really kind of thinking about how they want to. Everyone wants to be different when they go back. They want things to be different. They want to go back to normal, but they want to be different. And I urge people to kind of, look at fashion, look at the people in fashion, celebrities and things like that, who's had new hairstyles, who's looking great with like shorter hair, and then think about how you can do that, because those clients that have the shorter hair and the more maintenance type colors, you're going to see them more regularly, and we will all want to see our clients more regularly. We don't want to go through that low again.
That's great advice there, Kai. And actually, funnily enough, if you missed it, anyone tuning in, we did a tutorial of how to get Billie Eilish's new look yesterday. So you can still check that out on our Facebook. It'll go on our IGTV and our YouTube as well. But that's a great point though, Kai, isn't it? It's staying up to date with what the celebrities and the influencers today are doing to try and get your clients inspired to want to do something similar as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the world of celebrity is so massive now and so diverse and broad. Back in the day, when you had Vidal Sassoon cut, was it Nancy Kwan's hair into a bob, but the celebrity then there wasn't many of them around. And if it was someone like that, it was like, wow. And then everyone's going to go and get bob, but there's so much now. So it's just kind of like looking to see who is within your tribe, if you like, and how your clients are going to fit within that, and then start, I think we've got to educate our clients more. We're the professionals. Our clients come to us wanting to know what's in, what's out, what can I do with my hair, how can I achieve it, and we need to be educating our clients more. And we need to be telling them how often they need to come back in to have X, Y, Z done to make it look spot on all the time. And then teach them how to style it, what products to use to style it. That education for our clients is key. During the first lockdown, I did a lot of online education, but within our own Facebook group. We set up a Look Good in Lockdown with Peak Eye Hair Facebook group. And I did some education on there, and the clients loved it. Absolutely loved it.
Is that something that has kept going throughout, Kai? Have you found that clients have just got used to that and they want that content from you?
Yeah, although this lockdown has been a bit harder this time, I think it's been a bit harder on all of us. So I think admittedly, perhaps haven't kept up as much contact and just held it together, obviously with our family, with my family.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
We had a lot of homeschooling to do during that time, this time. It's been a bit harder, and obviously like trying to keep up with our team and everything as well. We've set up regular meetings with our team, but it has been a bit harder.
Yeah, I think that's the truth for everyone, isn't it, Kai?
Yeah.
We've had a question, which I think is quite a difficult question, but I'm going to pitch it to you, Kai. So
go on, then.
I'm interested to hear your thoughts on it. So Jeff has said, what was the last piece of art or image that really sparked a creative concept for you, and why? I guess this goes back to the whole inspiration piece that we've been talking about and getting clients excited about looks. But it's quite an open question, that. So maybe you might want to have a think about it.
It is.
It's a great question, Jeff. Thank you for sharing it, but it's a difficult one. Shall I leave that with you in the back of your mind, Kai?
Leave that with me.
Yeah, you might want to have a think about that. And we've just been talking about kind of the cutting frequency for clients, but do you have any tips as well about how to introduce clients to regular blow drying and styling appointments to kind of boost that frequency within the salon space?
Yeah, well, first of all, make sure that you're better at blow drying and styling that client's hair than they are. And that seems like a silly thing to say, but we've all had it at some point within our careers, either said to us or said about us, oh, I had to go home and wash my hair again because it didn't do it the way I liked it. Do you know what I mean? We've all had that at some point, either said to us, like I say, or about us. And so we've got to make sure that we are absolutely hot on our blow drying and styling skills. Again, the courses that you can go on. I teach the perfect blow dry because I was brought up in hairdressing. I started in 1985, and through the late 80s and 90s, it was all about the blow dry until hot tools and straightening irons became really popular. So I learned a lot of really good blow drying skills and techniques. So first of all, make sure that you're better than the client. And then if she loves the way that you do it, we need to educate the client. So some clients don't know that they can book a weekly appointment to come in for a blow dry. Some clients don't know that, you do hair up for occasions. And so it's letting them know. And when you're doing that cut and blow dry regular appointment and you're talking, your clients just said, oh, I've got a date coming up next week and I just want to tell them, well, listen, I've got half an hour free. If you prep your hair and get it washed and dried when you come in, I'll just curl it up for you and we'll put it up. You look amazing. And it's just being really flexible with what you do and letting the client know what you can offer, you know, in your range of skills that you do.
Most definitely, Kai. That's fantastic, actually. And we've had a few questions here in terms of quite specific questions, actually.
Can I just go back to the work of art one?
Oh yeah. Oh, has it come to you? Yeah,
Right.
go for it. Go.
So back in the, I think it was the mid-90s. I don't know if you're old enough to remember this, but there was this craze of these 3D art thing, posters that used to hang on everyone's wall, and they were sold in shops everywhere. They were kind of not obvious. They were like lots of little dots or whatever, I remember, but you used to have to stare and stare and stare at it. And then all of a sudden this 3D image would kind of appear. And that, someone put something on Facebook not so long ago of one of those, and I was staring at it until you kind of have to stare until it goes blurry and this 3D image came out. And I just got inspired by that, and making things more with photography, trying to make it look more three-dimensional in the way that it's lit and that sort of thing. But yeah, that was it.
That's
Anyway,
fun.
yeah, next question.
That's fantastic. And thank you so much for that, Kai, Jeff. And there you go, Jeff. That's the answer to your question there. We've also had a question about scissors and what scissors that you like to use.
Sharp ones. And again,
it's always a good start, isn't it?
I say these things, but you know, I've seen hairdressers trying to work away with blunt scissors. Make sure your scissors are regularly serviced. You might spend, you know, £100 on a pair of scissors, or in my case, you might spend near £1,000 on a pair of scissors. But make sure they're regularly serviced and make sure they're right for your hands. As a rule of thumb, you know, selecting scissors that are kind of somewhere between here and the top of your middle finger, if they lie on there, they'll probably be about right for your hand. If you've got tiny little hands and you're using 7.5-inch scissors, you're going to be, excuse the pun, all fingers and thumbs, you know. And so, and equally, if you've got huge, you know, goalkeeper's hands and you're using a little 4.5-inch pair, but then it's what's right for you, because I do have a tiny little pair of scissors that I use for really fine detailing work. You know, if I'm doing like base lines or around the ears and that sort of thing, then I'll use the smaller scissors, and they're very, very pointy. And then for my general work, I use 5.5-inch, which generally covers everything.
Oh, fantastic. No, that's brilliant, Kai. I think that answers your question, Nancy, perfectly. We've also had a very specific question, which Nancy, I'm sure Kai will be happy to help you with maybe after the session. It's to do with growing the training academy side of her business, Kai.
Right.
And she wants some kind of tips from you and how she can move forward with that side of her business. So that all of her students she can provide training for and industry key trends and skills. I mean, yeah, maybe that's a conversation, Nancy, you could have with Kai separately, or you indeed could attend some of Kai's courses at the Wella Studios.
Yeah.
Could be quite helpful for that, couldn't it?
Yeah, I'd be happy to help there. Yeah, definitely. Like, get in touch with me somehow, or like attend the course there. We can talk about it further.
Brilliant. We spoke briefly about kind of the power of the celebrity and the fact they are still around. Do you have any advice or any hints and tips on what you think are going to be the big cutting and styling trends for when clients are back in salons again?
Well, you know, I think we spoke about Billie Eilish, and she has been a real sort of trendsetter in the last sort of couple of years, really. You know, with that real green kind of on the dark hair. I mean, we saw people, even, you know, clients walking out with that sort of thing, or variations of it. And now with her new look, I think, you know, again, she's going to be a bit of a trendsetter. Definitely. One of my favorite for her styling and haircut is, you know, Emma Willis, and she's wearing it more down in a little bob I saw the other day on The Voice final. She's always really good, very well, you know, looked after in terms of her hair, and does her own thing. And I think
Yeah.
that's important. There's so many people that look the same now.
Yeah, it's so
So
true.
many people look
Yeah.
the same. So many hairdressers' Instagram look the
Mm,
same.
mm,
I think we need to go back to looking at the individual. We need
yeah.
to look at the individual character, personality, looks, and tailor things to suit. You know, there's all very well tailoring haircuts to suit face shape, which is what we're all taught
Mm,
in part of the fundamentals. So whether you've got a square face, round face, triangular face, heart shape, whatever it is, and then we cut a shape to go around. But what about personality? That's got to really come into it. If someone's a real live wire and out there and wants to be the life and soul of the party, she's going to need something a bit more. You know what I mean?
exactly,
And
definitely.
likewise, someone who likes to just fit in with the crowd and not get noticed. Obviously, you want to create a shape for, the right shape for their shaped face,
Mm.
but wants to be a little bit more, you know, normal. I don't know, whatever the word is, but yeah, it doesn't want to be out there.
Yeah, that's a very great point, Kai. And do you have any hints or tips for maybe hairdressers that want to give that bespoke individual look, but maybe they're just lacking in confidence to sit a client down and say, right, we're going to completely change this up. We're going to make this look specific for you.
So I think confidence comes with after training. I think, make sure that you're educating yourself. And sometimes gaining confidence is just that confirmation that what you're doing is right. Because
Yeah.
I still put myself on training courses now. And, there's some aspects of what I do, maybe little bits here and there. I think I'm winging it. I kind of made this up as I went along. And then you go on a course and you think someone else who one of your peers or someone you look up to is doing the same thing. And you think, oh, right, I am doing that right then. That's cool. And that gives you confidence. And there's loads of people out there that do that. And we've all got this little chimp on our shoulder and we say, no, you're doing that wrong. You're doing that wrong. You're not good enough, whatever. But actually going on courses can actually just tell you you're doing it right.
Yeah.
And plus also fix any other little things and learn new skills. So I think after that, confidence comes. And then it's just, I still work with hairdressers that have been doing hairdressing for years and years and years. And things change. Styles change, trends change, business changes, clients change, habits change. And so we have to change with all that. And I see hairdressers that may be stuck in a little safety zone or comfort zone or whatever it is that don't change with it, and they start to go a little bit stale.
Yeah.
And then their clients are wanting something new, but they can't offer it. And I
Mm,
think you just have to step out of that comfort zone. You have to make the move to say, right, I need to do something about this. I want some new clients. I want to be more excited. And I want my clients to be more excited about what I'm doing. And so I'm going to change. And sometimes that is just changing a few things in what you might ask within the consultation. It's
yeah.
like saying that, it's having that confidence to suddenly say to a client you've been doing for 20 years,
Mm,
I think we should do something different. It's
yeah.
20 years on now, you've had the
Mm,
same mullet,
yeah.
whatever it,
Whatever it is. Yeah.
whatever it is. Let's change it up. Let's do something exciting
Mm,
today. What do you think? And maybe go into that armed with, a Pinterest board or something like that,
mm.
of some different styles and things. Yeah, I think that's the way to go with that.
Great advice there, Kai. And we've had someone who said they're in total agreement with you, and they think it's most hairdressers even look the same. So it's important for you as a hairdresser to mix up your own hair and your own color and your own style to sort of show you demonstrate your creativity on your own head, which I think is quite a great point as well. What do you think, Kai?
Yeah, absolutely. Be individual. Let your clients know that you're
Mm,
individual, um, and create individuality for them as
mm,
well as a person. I think that's really important. I think people are like in tune with that a lot more now, especially after this
yeah,
year. You know,
yeah. Go
I
as
think,
wacky as you want, and everyone will love it.
yeah,
And the other great point that you made there, Kai, which I think is fantastic, is obviously you are an educator, you are a teacher. You can go and check out Kai's courses at the Wella Studios, which we've been talking about. But equally, you're not afraid to go and do courses yourself to learn
yeah,
from other people.
yeah, absolutely. So I will go on other courses, you know, and also I do a lot within the Fellowship for British Hairdressing, and I get to see other great hairdressers working there as well, which I'm constantly learning off. So yeah, every day's a school day. I'm constantly learning. Yeah, I just love it.
That's fantastic. Sandra, she has asked, she's from Manchester. She says, hello from Manchester. And we had someone saying hi back to you from Scotland a bit earlier as well. So we've got people from all different parts of the UK. She's pretty new to hairdressing. She's kind of early stages. So she's asking from a styling point of view, what hair dryers and straighteners do you use when you're doing your styling courses and when you're working with clients in the salon? Do you have particular preferences for those sorts of things?
So within the salons, we do supply tools. We supply Wella hairdryers and GHD hairdryers, and they're both really good. Hot tools, again, GHD, we mainly supply in the salon. I have to say I'm fond of my Dyson hairdryer, purely because I was getting tennis elbow after doing this job for 35 years. I was getting tennis elbow, and the balance and the lightness of that really helped me out. But I guess I don't look for hair dryers that are going to blast the living daylights out of the hair, because a lot of hairdressers do. They want to dry it in like 2 minutes. I look for a hair dryer which I have control over. Like, you know, ultimate, you know, I want a very different degrees of kind of strength, the speed at which the air comes out, and different degrees of heat that I can control with that, because certain aspects of the blow dry or styling will require, you know, full heat, half speed, and then certain aspects the other way round. And then, you know, being able to fit a diffuser on there, because I use a diffuser a lot lately, using a natural movement within hair and that sort of thing. So yeah, that's something that I've got, you know, control over is important for me.
And someone's asked, the Air Wrap, is that something that you've tried or would you recommend? I think that's another Dyson product.
I tried it once. That was only because like a client was talking to me about it. I said, I've never used one. And the next time she came in, she brought it in. She goes, give this a go. And that was the only time I've used it. For clients with a certain length hair, like longish hair with layers, I can see that works really well, because it kind of does the job for you.
Right, yeah.
But as a hairstylist, I know I can wave that hair better and in a way that it will stay in longer. So I don't see any need for me to use one as a stylist on the shop floor.
That's a great point there, Kai. We've got someone tuning in from Malaysia, so thank you so much for
Hey,
joining us.
Malaysia. Fantastic.
And I'm not sure, it's Wong Island, so thank you so much for joining us. And the question is, may I ask if perms will be slowly coming back? What are your thoughts on the return of perm?
I don't know. I really don't know, because we've seen kind of little phases of it, little waves of perms sort of coming in. I know because of like one of the few people that does perming within our salons. Yeah, so we have done a few perms. I don't know if they will come back. I think that the only way in which they'll come back, if we had some more, you know, some manufacturer would come out with a more solid guarantee of how that hair is going to, you know, how it is going to curl. Because I think for a lot of hairdressers, it was that unknown. A lot of hairdressers, you know, it was the unknown of whether that hair is going to go frizzy curly or it's not going to take and it's just going to go bleh. And for me, it was that no one was ever really 100% confident in doing them, because you didn't have that confidence, you know, that confidence that they were going to come out the way that you wanted, or the way that the client wanted. I think if we can get that, you know, we can get like a really nice loose wave on it that stayed. If a manufacturer could do that, I think we would be inundated with it. But until the hairdressers are confident in performing it and on the outcome of it, I don't think, you know, hairdressers are going to recommend that service.
It's a great point there, Kai. And obviously, we've been talking a bit about styling as well, haven't we? And obviously, the waves and the different styling tools that you use. But just to remind everyone, you have got courses on Insta waves and braids in Manchester and Edinburgh.
Yeah.
And you've also got the blow dry experience courses, which are taking place in London and Manchester, all at different times throughout the year. So there's plenty of courses there for anyone who's tuning in, asking lots of questions from the styling point of view.
Yeah, and I'm not surprised those courses get booked up really well. So if you want to get on there, you know, get them booked up, get in touch with the studios. There's a lot of people wanting to perfect their styling technique. So yeah.
And they're looks like they're single days, so it's like a day course by the looks of it.
Yeah,
which is brilliant. So
very hands-on, and we cram loads in. Yeah.
Definitely. So anyone who's really interested in that styling aspect of it and wants to quiz Kai to the cows come home about what he uses and what he does from a styling point of view, those courses will be fantastic, and all around the country as well. You're not specific just to London, which is great as well, Kai, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I think also to remember here is that, yes, you will be in a Wella studio, and yes, I will be demonstrating with Wella IME and all the various lovely styling products that they have. But you do not have to be a Wella customer or a Wella account. These courses are open to all hairdressers to come and learn these techniques. And so if I'm using a Wella IME gel, it will be a gel, you know, be a body kind of gel, and you know, you're free to, obviously you will be using those to use on your head blocks and things like that, but you don't have to be a Wella customer to come into a Wella studio and do a course. I think that's important to know, because some people think that you do. So
yeah, that's a great point to make, Kai. And obviously, like we were talking, education, it's never ending, and you can learn so much from going to different places and learning from different people. So even if you don't usually work with Wella Professionals, that'd be a great opportunity to learn the way that you do things, Kai.
Yeah, absolutely.
Most definitely. And just to add, these studios will be opening again from early May with all of the PPE and social distancing measures in place, etc., won't they, Kai? So it'll be completely safe.
Yeah, be completely safe. We're all used to using PPE and that sort of thing as well. So yeah, different really. No harder than what we do in the salon. I mean, obviously, with a lot of these courses, we might be using mannequin heads and that sort of thing. So we're not working in that close contact with clients as such.
Just going back to the perm question we had earlier, Christina has said probably balayages need to go so that we can bring the perms back. Oh dear. Elizabeth McKendry has said that the blow dry experience, which is a great course, is options to do it online as well as in the face-to-face studio. And I guess that's the case with lots of courses now as well, Kai, with Wella Professionals, is that there's digital offerings as well as face-to-face studio offerings.
Yeah, and I think that's important as well. We have done digital stuff as well. There's loads of stuff out there. There's little quick bite-size things that they're doing. There's like midday micro classes that have been doing through lockdown. I think they've been amazing. But there's loads of education on the Wella online platforms and that as well, which are great. And I think they're really good for topping up your skills and getting inspired. But then if you want to try and perfect those skills and become a bit of a master at that, then try and get on hands-on education from wherever you can as well. I think combination of both is really key.
Definitely. We've had someone say that they absolutely love doing the courses. They take their key skills back to the salon from them, and it means that their clients are confident that I'm able to offer them new skills and looks as and when they want them. So that's fantastic, isn't it?
Yeah, obviously that's brilliant. I love that. And being able to take those skills back to the shop floor to, inspire your clients, inspire the rest of the team. Let's face it, earn more money from it as well. We're all in it for, obviously we love what we do, but we love being able to go out and buy what we love as well. You know what I mean? So we've got to make money from it.
Definitely. I'm keen as well, Kai, to ask what you're going to be up to from a photography point of view, because you do have so many different arms to what you do. And maybe you can give us a bit of an insight from a photography point of view, what you've been doing, what you plan to be doing.
Well, I'm really looking forward to shooting. So last year's Wella Trend Vision winners, part of their winning package was a photo shoot with myself. So I'm really looking forward to getting in the studio and doing that with those, meeting them and shooting their looks. The last time I did that, the shots that I took went to the big global Trend Vision competition,
Brilliant.
and we got, I think it was 2 silvers and a bronze.
Oh, fantastic.
International, which
Yeah,
was
which is
amazing.
incredible.
And the pictures from that are amazing. If you go onto my Instagram, I think they're on the Kaiwan Photography Instagram. You can see the pictures on there that within those. So it's great. So I'm looking forward to that. During this lockdown, I've been mentoring a group of people, talking about how to put a photo shoot together for hair, how to do hair, what to, the do's and don'ts, and putting a team together and all that sort of thing. So I've been mentoring people, and we've actually booked some shoots now as well. So we've got some shoots coming up, throughout the summer and maybe into the
Brilliant.
autumn as well.
Also, lots of exciting stuff going on there, Kai.
Yeah, really.
Yeah. And speaking of the Trend Vision Award, now's the time to get entering if you're for the Trend Vision Awards, isn't it, for this year?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And with the categories that are there, you can still enter a head block. And there's some really, really good categories there that, is really wide open to every, single hairdresser out there, from doing lovely, lovely balayage work to then the real sort of pinnacle of creativity and everything in between. So have a look at them. And they've actually put the deadline date back into May now, because they know how busy we're going to be through April. So check it all out.
Definitely.
I look, being on the judging panel, I look forward to seeing all these entries every year. It'll be amazing.
Oh, definitely. And I guess it's just different creativity that comes from the craziness of lockdown, isn't it? People get inspired in different ways. So it'd be great to see what comes out of it.
Yeah, I've always
Yeah.
said, in the face of adversity, always comes out creativity. People think in much more creative ways. And we'll see that coming through in fashion and everything in the coming months, I'm sure. But yeah, I think a lot of people get much more creative, whether that's baking cakes or doing hair,
Or putting the two together. Oh,
Yeah.
exactly. And you mentioned as well about your Instagram. So you've got a photographer for anyone who wants to check out what you do afterwards, Kai. Did you say you've got have you got separate Instagram accounts?
Yeah, so I've got Kaiwan Photographer, and I've got Kai_1_PKai. And that's my kind of general. I put a bit of hair, a bit of life, a bit of whatever on there.
Brilliant. So do check those out, and we've put them into the comments as well, so you can check those out. Fantastic. Well, we're drawing this session to a close, and we've covered a hell of a lot of ground, haven't we, Kai?
We have. It's been great.
It's been absolutely fantastic. We've had great questions coming in as well. So thank you so much to all of you from all different parts of the country. And don't forget that you can book in to do Kai's face-to-face education courses at the Wella Studios in all different parts of the country. And Kai, how can people book in with you for your different courses?
If they get in touch with the Wella Studios, either give them a call or drop them an email, and get booked on that way.
Yeah, we've got the email in the comments as well. So it's wellaevents@wella.com. Or like Kai says, you can contact your nearest studio as well. And Kai is doing courses in all different parts of the UK, aren't you? So depending where you are, hopefully there'll be a course near to where you live.
Yeah, I look forward to meeting some of you lovely people.
Yeah, no, very exciting. Nancy said, is she able to? She's the one who had this question specific to training. Yeah. Is she? Do you mind if she contacts you via Instagram?
No, not at all. You can contact me on there.
Yeah, that's probably the best thing to do, Nancy, because it was quite a specific question that you had. Brilliant. So thank you so much, Kai. You've been extremely busy guy during lockdown, and you're going to be just as busy, even more busy as soon as it ends, isn't it? So thank you.
And on that note, can I just say, first of all, I'd like to big up my team. You're awesome. Can't wait to work with you all again, but also best wishes and good luck to all the hairdressers in England and Scotland now, because Wales are already back. Best wishes and good luck to you all getting back and seeing your lovely clients.
Definitely. I think that's great final words there, Kai. And use the rest of the time, I guess, wisely as well, Kai. Get inspired to give your clients the most creative and inspirational cuts and colours once they get back.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely.
And I'm sure you'll get some inspiration by checking out Kai's Instagram pages, which we put into the comments as well. And don't forget, you can see Kai face to face at the Wella Studios for his various courses, starting from May all throughout the summer into the winter months. And you can email wellaevents@wella.com to book in with your cutting, styling, and blow drying courses. You've got a wide variety there, haven't you, Kai?
Yeah, definitely. Look forward to doing all of them and being hands-on.
Brilliant. And we've had a few people saying thank you so much for all of your advice and sharing your time, and thank you and best of luck to everyone returning to the industry. Thank you very much for those comments, and we look forward to seeing you all very soon.
Yes, indeed.
Thank you so much. Speak
Thank
to you
you.
soon.
Thanks very much.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.